So you've watched the first 3 videos. Now, the final video, where we'll discuss collaborations with debtors. Now, moving to the next topic, which dives into more with this collaboration What are the biggest challenges that you face when working with foreign debtors or foreign investors, and what could make the collaboration smoother or more efficient?
You mean by the debtor, you mean the one who owns the money, the foreigner one?
Yeah. This is a question for you, Ilja. There is the foreign and what was meant with this question.
Well, the thing is that when there is a foreign debtor that we need to communicate with, we're always trying to get in touch with him. In the majority of cases, they're living outside of Spain and are not collaborating a lot. But I can tell that when we reach the foreign debtor, it's much easier to find a solution with him than with the local one, because the foreign debtor, he left not the country because somebody's searching for him. No, he understands that this is something that he's carrying with him, and that is not making him sleep well during the night. And here come we trying to give him a solution of how he can get rid of this debt and this real estate. But yes, it's a huge challenge to find a debtor, because more often we see that in the contact details in the primary mortgage that was signed between the debtor and the bank, there are Spanish contacts, or sometimes there is even no emails. So we should attract some sources like searching at Facebook or Instagram, trying to understand if this is the person that actually is the owner of this is real estate. So yeah, it's more complicated to find the debtor, but sometimes it's easier to get the agreement with him.
So it's like almost like an FBI job when it's a foreign investor and you have to try and find him, see who foreign debtor, my bad.
But as I mentioned before, sometimes it's better for the legal proceeding, but because there's no oppositions, there are no appellations, so we just fulfill the legal proceeding. Sometimes there's even nobody around, so we understand that, okay, this specific case probably will be fulfilled and will be foreclosed with the legal proceeding with the normal understandable period of time. We'll make a possession and we'll sell it on the real estate unless we won't find the debtor.
And do you have like plans implemented for example, if a foreigner is harder to find, is there some what more practical things could you touch upon that you do to track them down?
Well, the more practical thing, as I have mentioned before, 2 proceedings should be fulfilled at the same time: legal and out of court. But for out of court, we can use only the open sources. So we can search him in open sources like social media's different type of. But if we won't have a success there, then fortunately, we're proceeding with the legal part.
Okay. Anything from your side regarding this, Federico?
No, I think it's clear, but I mean, yes, I agree that we have tools here to try to find them in different jurisdictions. It's not easy sometimes. Sometimes, yes. So it's like quite binary. If you are able to find them, then you normally have a solution very quick, because if they're out, they have a problem here in the country, they're more willing to reach an agreement. They don't care about the property anymore if they're not living here. But the problem is that if you don't reach them, then the legal case extends more, because they cannot be communicated. They need to try to, the court needs to try to communicate them, and they will. This basically creates delays in the whole process. So everything here is okay. You know that the debtor is foreign, the property is vacant because we visit the property. Now you need to try to reach them. If not, you have a legal process that will be delayed. But the good point is that if you find them, then you get an agreement very quick. And then you need to be able to implement the agreement, because you need You need to be able to get documents apostille in the country of where he's living, and go to the Spanish consulate in order to get the document, the contract, etc. So you need to be able to have people to talk in their language, their English or whatever, talk, explain, negotiate, prepare documents. So it's a bit more complex, but if you manage to find them and you have the right people in the service to handle this, normally you get an out-of-court solution quick.
Okay. Well, the good thing is that there are these two processes. One is the out of court, one the legal. And with both, you feel like a duck in water either way, whether you find the debtor or you have to handle with the courts. Either way, there is a plan, there are measurements, and there are tools in order to then reach the profit for the investor into this debt. Yeah, and as you mentioned, even with these risks, with these situations, it can open the door for new opportunities, new situations on the market.
Exactly.
And so now the final question for today is the community question, the second community question, which is, what is stopping competitors from entering the NPL space and lowering the return on invested capital? For context, if the returns are high and the risks relatively low, why aren't more competitors bidding on these mortgages and driving down returns? So what is stopping competitors?
Yeah, I would say, in my view, this is a complex investment opportunity. So you have a lot of barriers to enter here. Some investors that didn't, let's say, understand well how this works in the previous cycle, let's say before COVID, they made wrong investments. Okay, why? Because they tended to underestimate how to price, how to due diligence this, and how to price both the legal and the real estate. Okay, they simply based pricing in extrapolation of analysis that they had, and then they made very bad investments. The difficulty here is that you really need to be able to properly price and do due diligence this of very granular products and very different situations. So as I was saying, each case is each case. So you need to be able to price this one by one in order to avoid mistakes. So for many investors, this is not a possibility. And for very large institutional investors that have been doing successful investments here in the market, then the barrier is that the size of the market, the size of the portfolios are not as big as they used to be so far. Okay, so we have on one hand is the complexity of the product, and on the other hand, the size, and finally the management. It's not easy if you are a small investor to access the possibility of managing this in a proper way easily. Okay, and if you are very large, you have the possibility, but you need the size.
I will just add from my side, being honestly the foreign investor that occasionally is in NPL market in Spain, a lot of homework and pre-work should be done. As I mentioned before, we have a huge experience of non-banking mortgages that we've been doing for almost 10 years. And obviously it helped us a lot because we understand the mentality, we understand the law, which is very important. We have all different kind of license, and we're licensed by the local authorities. So it's not just coming with a huge pocket and buying. It's a lot of legislation and procedures that should be fulfilled in this country in order to step into the market. So sometimes the big investor comes, he read He sees all the complexity which Federico mentioned. He read the laws, the rules. He understands what should be done just to start negotiations of buying NPL portfolios, and then he evaluates the time that he's going to spend on it and the money that he wants to spend, and or the other possibilities that he has. So yeah, this is also probably one of the reasons. So if the question in the community is if we're afraid that somebody will come into our place, no. We have a quite deep market and plenty of things to buy, plenty of things to manage, and plenty of returns to bring back to the investors.
Very well. Thank you to both of you, Ilja, Federico. Thank you very much for joining the call, for participating, for sharing your expertise with us. I'm sure the community is very, very eager and will be very happy to see this video, this conversation. I think we've touched a lot of very important topics that they're very interested in hearing. And so I just once again thank you very much. Hopefully we can do this again some other time with some more questions from a different topic. If the community, if you have any suggestions as to what topic we should discuss in a future video with Ilja, with Federico, with other experts, then please make sure to comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. For now, thank you once again, guys, and have a great day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Congrats, you watched all 4 videos. And now you know more about how Indemo services its investment opportunities. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for tuning in. And if you have any more questions or any more ideas on what else we could speak about, please write them down in the comments or message us on our Telegram group. Thank you.